How you guys and girls doing today? Timson, I went in here. Y'all, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy. Y'all, we've got it. Chapter 260 motherfucking 7. Let's crack straight into this. Page 1, it says just a color spread, and it's got a wonderful picture here of it's got Gojo, Yuji, Megumi, and Nobara, all with dogs on their head. Look at that. Oh, isn't that cute? And then you've got the Yuta cover. I think that's volume 28, if I'm not mistaken. Man, wow. This is like really lighthearted. It really lightens the mood, doesn't it? Okay, on to page 2, we've got some body swapping action going on here. It says Gojo in Yuta's body. You want me to give you Sukuna's last finger. Then it has an editor's note. Okotsu and Gojo take on switch training. Yuta in Gojo's body says, I do. You're hiding it somewhere, aren't you? If you let Rika-chan eat it, I can copy Sukuna's shrine. Yuta, even if we swap bodies like this, I can't read your memories. Gojo, hard pass. Yuta, could you take this a little bit more seriously? And then Gojo says, I'm as serious as they come. A little note too, I like the fact that you can immediately tell that they've swapped bodies right here, because if you take a look at Gojo's face, Gojo never has this expression. Like, he's always confident, chest out, always ready. So you can tell that Yuta's in his body, and you can tell that Gojo is in Yuta's body, because I mean, just look at the way he's flexing. He's got his hand on the shoulder. I mean, it's just funny how you can tell. Gojo says, sure, that would meet the conditions of your technique. That's the 20th of Sukuna after all. But if your goal is to analyze Shrine and its techniques, that won't be enough. Yuta says, that's true. If I didn't have Inumaki-kun to help me with cursed speech, there's tons I wouldn't have known. Yuta goes, what? It can work through the phone? Inumaki says, chaken, salmon. Gojo then says, I don't think it's a good idea to lose our connection to Sukuna here. Yuta is questioning it, like, what do you mean? And Gojo says, let me put it how Hikari would put it. We'll take a gamble. Gojo says, the fever, or something like that. Gojo says, if you want to copy Shrine, but then Yuta's like, in order to copy a curse technique, I have to have Rika-chan ingest a portion of the target's body. How much she ingests and of what part of the body depends on the target, and the amount of times I'd want to use the technique. Think of it like this. Depending on the sorcerer, I need to take a more lethal portion of the body in order to copy a stronger technique. Even if she doesn't ingest a lethal portion of the target's body, I can meet the conditions by entering a binding vow, limiting the amount of uses of the technique. Yuji then asks, but if they can use reverse curse technique, then what? Yuji says, like if you took Gojo Sensei's arm to copy Limitless, and then it goes through this little dialogue of the Chibi or Chibi, I don't know how you say it, Gojo and Rika-jo, and going through like the whole biting his arm off to copy his technique. Yuji says, then after that, Gojo Sensei could just heal his arm. That way, you could at least copy Gojo Sensei and Hikari Senpai's techniques, right? Yuta says that's a no-go. The instant the consumed body part is regenerated, the value of that body part immediately plummets to 0, and the requirements for my copy become unfulfilled. Modern medicine and our reverse curse techniques can heal Inumaki-kun and Kurusu-san's arms later on, so they let me use them for now. Mei goes on to say, are you sure about this? You heard what Todo-kun said about their resonance, did you not? Yuta says, I did. That's why we'll only try this immediately before we fight Sukuna. Mei says, I'll judge what the minimum necessary information is and tell Itadori-kun. Yuta says, you can never be too careful, but even if Itadori-kun and Sukuna's resonance can detect big physical changes, he shouldn't be able to tell what Itadori is thinking, nor what information he has. Mei says, your reasoning? And then Yuta says, Itadori can't read Sukuna's thoughts. Mei just says, how self-assured of you. Yuta, if everything is in disarray after Gojo Sensei fights Sukuna, I don't think we'll be found out. But more than anything, I don't want to make Itadori lose his composure right before a fight. Itadori, even if you can't use it right now, Sukuna's curse technique is already etched into your body. Gojo Sensei confirmed it with his 6 eyes. So, now we're back to the present, y'all, and this is when this shit gets crazy. Sukuna says the brat's fingers, he's missing 2 of them. I didn't take those off. The finger I tore off when moving to Fushiguro Megumi's body was his left pinky. Yuta has a flashback and says, you weren't able to retrieve your final finger, were you? Sukuna, nani? It was a bluff? He didn't use my finger to copy Shrine, he used the brat's. Gakuganji says the special grade curse object, Sukuna's finger. It can withstand any attack, be it with Jujutsu or with force, but can it negate a curse technique? Yutahime says it's a binding vow. If we stop trying to destroy it and focus only on allowing a curse technique to pass through, then maybe. But there's something else I'm more worried about. It hasn't even been a half an hour since she's woken up. Holy shit, y'all. Nobara is motherfucking back. Nobara says, let's see some smiles, boys. Look at that swag stance, son. Swag stance of power. This is her using motherfucking resonance on Sukuna's last finger. Wow. Nobara screams, resonance, Sukuna, it's that girl. This is bad. My technique. I can't expand my domain. The brat sure hit effect is going to land at this rate. Nobara says, how's that for Opapi, you damn idiot? And that's funny because this is actually a recall back to the very first season when Yuji pops out of the box. It's also cool to see Yuji tearing up a bit here because, you know, he clearly realizes that she's alive after all this. I never thought I would have seen the day, man. Wow. Yuji then hits a critical dismantle on Sukuna. Sukuna, coughing up blood, says, this isn't over. Sukuna responds to Yuji, saying, you think you can flay me with your superficial domain? You haven't even been using reverse curse technique to heal your wounds. You've surpassed your limits long ago, and the vast amount of curse energy you've expended with this domain. You're the one on the ropes, you goddamn brat. After a little intense slugfest, Sukuna realizes a double impact after a time lag. Then finally Yuji cocks his fist back and says, Sukuna, it's time we end this. The cycle of curses. You are my special. You are my Kakaisen to my Jujutsu. Ikasen, aka Black motherfucking Flash. Look at Sukuna's face, bro. He's done. There's just no way. It looks like his back is literally blown out. Pause. And this right here is the final page, y'all. It says editor's note, ringing the bell on a long fight. No break next week. So y'all, that is it for this video. Let me know what you think, and I will catch y'all all in the next one. Let me know down in the comments below what you thought of this chapter. Were you excited? Were you happy to see Nobara come back? Do you really think that Sukuna is actually dead and like not coming back, completely gone? You know, for me, even though the editor's note does say that the battle has ended, I'm not going to take that literally because I know that some things can change, and with this being JJK, there might be a major ass pull coming up. But with only 4 chapters left, this truly could be the end of the Kaisen of Jujutsu, and it really could mean that betting on Hikari could lead to oh man, the brain rot's taking over. I don't even know what I was going to say anymore, but I'll catch y'all on the next one. Tim918 out of here. Love you guys.